Hey everyone, it's Katie here again. So today I'm going to talk about how you can prevent childhood abuse. So hopefully you'll learn something from this so that we can protect children. If this is the one video that goes viral on my YouTube thing, that would be absolutely amazing because, this is, like, in my eyes, this is the most important thing. Prevention is better than, trying to pick up the pieces after it's already happened, I guess. So, I'd first like to start by saying, I'm not a parent, so, I may get some things wrong. So please forgive me if I do get things wrong and let me know. But, I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, so I hope that, these are some things that I've thought of that, could potentially protect other people who may, go through this. So the first thing I want to talk about is teaching them about consent right from when they can talk. So I don't mean talk about sex because obviously sex is not for children, so so basically just saying that, if there is someone at a family gathering that they don't want to hug or don't feel comfortable with, they don't have to be around that person, they don't have to hug that person, Also, even with you, when they, when you're with them, just say, can I hug you? And if they say no, that's okay. It's okay that they said no, You're teaching them good things when that they know that they can say no. That's really important. So don't force them to hug anyone. Also, I know it might sound strange, but also with food, if they say they're full, don't force them to finish everything on their plate, because I know it might sound like such a small thing, but I guess it's, like enforcing into their brain subconsciously that, in some ways they don't get a choice in that. So, you want to keep reinforcing that it's their body and it's their choice. Obviously making sure that they've got enough nutrients and stuff like that. But, please, if they say they, don't. I guess, having a few things that, if they really, really don't like it, they don't have to eat it. Obviously, most things you should probably make them try eat. But, I guess it's important to, make this conversation around consent not just a conversation, but, making it action-based as well, I guess. That's why I think it's important with food as well, as weird as that sounds. Also, not keeping secrets, like family secrets. So, having a kind of family motto where, you don't keep secrets. And the reason why is because so many times when people are being abused, it's this whole secret thing, and, they don't want anyone to know and stuff like that. So don't keep family secrets. Also, use the correct terminology when it comes to their vagina or penis. Just teach them the proper names for it, so that if they are to come to you and say that something has happened to them, they know exactly what word to use. Because I know children make up names, funny names sometimes, and you want to be really clear on exactly what has happened if something is to happen. And I really hope that nothing happens to anyone watching this, because that's absolutely devastating. Also, use sex positive language. So, obviously this is more talking when they're, a bit older, and, when they start questioning things about sex or about where babies come from, I want you to, as awkward as this may be, this may be really uncomfortable and really awkward for you, but I really beg you and ask you that you answer these questions honestly and maturely, and because if they're asking that question, then obviously they're ready to hear the answer, because otherwise they probably wouldn't ask it. So I encourage you to explain it in an age appropriate way where they can, I guess, because the reason I'm saying I think it's important that you answer it and not someone else is because if you get the wrong person who they ask, they could potentially use that as a, I guess, grooming technique, which is really gross, and people like that are just anyway, so that's really important to answer their questions, because if you're not answering the questions, they're going to be asking other people. That's kids, mum, dad didn't answer it, well, I'm just going to ask someone else who will answer it for me, so have those awkward conversations, please. As awkward as it may be, as uncomfortable as it may be, it's so important. But also what I mean by sex positive is don't just talk negatively about sex, or that sex is gross or disgusting. So if you talk about like for example, quite often in religious households they'll say don't have sex before marriage, and sex before marriage is very dirty and gross and stuff like that. And the reason I don't want you saying that is not because I don't think that you have a right to believe what you believe. It's because it's really reinforcing that guilt and that stigma around they don't want anyone to know, and I'm gross and disgusting and stuff like that. So just try and be sex positive, say that sex is for adults, and it's only when both adults consent to sex that it is okay, and stuff like that, I guess, because ultimately you have your you obviously have your beliefs, but at the end of the day it's their body, so you shouldn't really be controlling who they don't do and don't have sex with or whatever, because obviously meaning when they're grown up, that's what I mean. But the reason I'm saying that is because quite often religious households, they'll be really strict around that. So I know it can be tough, but I guess the way I think of it is God gave us a choice, so that he gave us free choice. This is just my beliefs, I guess. So it's only fair that you give other people free choice, even if it is your children, and you don't necessarily agree with what they are doing or whatever. And I guess knowing that it's their choice, and yeah, that was a bit of an uncomfortable one. Anyway, having sorry, I've got some notes here that I'm kind of reading off. I guess also if people who are around that aren't usually around, for example, you've got someone doing work on your property or in your house, make sure that you know where your kids are. And the reason I say that is because there are really disgusting and gross people out there, really nasty, horrible people will take advantage of minutes or seconds that they can, which is sick. Yeah, so, don't just trust someone just because they're supposed to be doing work at your house. Make sure you know exactly where your kids are during those times. Also, like, not allowing people to just pick them up from school or something, like, randomly. Like, so say for example, like, you didn't talk to someone about, like, they didn't discuss with you that they were going to pick the child up from school, but they just decided to do it themselves. Question that, and hold them accountable and say that's not okay. And also, like, maybe coming up with a password or something with your child so that if something were to happen, like you go to hospital or something and you can't pick your child up, that they use that password. The adult has to use that password and the child knows what that password is. As weird as I know it sounds weird, like security, but it's so important in this day and age when sex trafficking and pedophiles and stuff like that are running rampant. It's the last thing I want to happen to anyone. I guess that's why I'm making this video. Also, like, trust your instincts. Like, if someone doesn't, like, hasn't necessarily done anything to disprove your trust, or just trust your instincts. If you don't feel like you can trust someone, even if they haven't done anything wrong, just go with that. And yeah, like, also having open conversations around like a plan, I guess you would have if something, like, this is I'm obviously talking now about when they're a bit older, I guess. So coming up with a plan where, like, if something were to happen, what they'd do, like a family plan, I guess. And the reason I say that is because the earlier intervention happens, the less damage is done generally, but not always, because I don't know. Sorry for that wording. That was really poor on my part, actually. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone or anything. But, I guess, like, the sooner that it can stop, the better, basically. Also, just, like, I don't know, just having open conversations and it, like, making them feel comfortable with you, like, don't, like, if they're feeling depressed or something, sorry, this is quite, I guess, difficult for me to talk about, but don't react really negatively. I know it might be difficult for you to hear that your child's depressed or something, that you never want that, you just wish happiness on your child, really. So if they're speaking up to you, get them help, and don't, like, make a big deal of it, even if it is, like, if they bring up to you about self-harm or suicide or something. I know it can be a huge shock and it can be really difficult, but please, like, get help, but don't react in anger because they need love. Give them love, because that's what they're looking for. And you know, if you can have these open conversations about the small stuff, you know, about, you know, I don't know, that they don't feel comfortable hugging someone at a family gathering when they're like really young, you know, they're gonna trust you with the bigger stuff if anything were to happen. And you know, you need to be strong. You need to you're the adult in this situation, so you need to actually show them that you're strong. And I guess, like, just don't act in anger or in frustration or anything like that, because that's not going to help anyone. Hopefully this video will reach people so that, you know, hopefully kids don't have to go through what so many of us have. And yeah, because I never would wish this upon anyone. No, it's absolutely devastating. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next week. Alright, bye!